My phone killed my self-confidence. So here's how I used my phone in 2018. I would post a photo or put it on my story, and I would look at each individual person to find out if that special someone liked or saw my photo. Usually she didn't, but never mind that. I would use all my study time on my phone, and so I'd have to copy homework assignments. And I would base my self-confidence on my Instagram. And it was all about me. And so when my siblings on their birthdays would say, "Hey Jared, you should post a photo for me," I honestly didn't want to, because I knew it wouldn't get a lot of likes. And even if I did post a photo, I made sure I looked just as good, if not better, than my sibling in the photo. I had a problem. And just like that, my phone was taken away and I was sent to a place they call the MTC. No phone and no social media. So where would I find my self-confidence? Fast forward 2 years, I would say 2 years, but because of Corona, 18 months, I found my self-confidence. With no phone, no social media. I found it. And so maybe you'd ask, do I have to serve a mission to find my self-confidence? No, not exactly. Or do I have to listen to your speech to find my self-confidence? No, not that either. You, like me, will find your self-confidence by putting people over phones. And so that's what I want to talk about today as your friend, to how to put people over phones. And I'll do that by first talking about the problem of phones and social media. And second, by talking about 2 simple ways you can start putting people over phones tonight. Okay, let's start with the problem. Elder David A. Bednar said in a worldwide devotional to missionaries, "What you think you know about using social media, you have to unlearn." So let's follow his advice and unlearn how to use social media. So what does that word even mean? According to dictionary.com, the word unlearn means to set aside or a certain knowledge as being false or binding. I want to focus on that word real quick, binding. That's the word they talk about when they talk about addictions. Drug addictions, alcohol addictions, gambling addictions, smoking addictions, pornography addictions. But even social media and phone addictions? Yes. And it's interesting to note that there is an age restriction on alcohol, drugs, gambling, pornography, you name it, but there isn't an age restriction on phones and social media. It's always up to the parents. So most of us have grown up with phones and social media and a never-ending supply of dopamine. So what dopamine is that chemical up inside your brain that makes you feel good. So that's why when you get a text, it feels good. That's why when someone follows you, it feels good. And when you get that mutual match, I wouldn't know what that's like, it feels good. But here's the thing, here's the catch. Dopamine, it doesn't last. And that's the point I really want to make. The things that matter most in life, love, joy, meaningful relationships, self-confidence, all these things require patience and time. They don't come in the rush or in the filters or in the instant gratifications. They come by putting people over phones. And so that's what I want to give to you is 2 simple ways to put people over phones. And the first comes from a man named Simon Sinek, a motivational speaker. And 2 years ago, I watched a video of his, and he talked about how to build love. And it was something that needed consistency instead of intensity. And so he talks about why she fell in love with you. And he says, she didn't fall in love with you because you remembered her birthday and you bought her flowers on Valentine's Day. She fell in love with you because when you woke up in the morning, you said good morning to her before you checked your phone. 18-year-old me wanted to become that man, to become that spouse that would wish his wife, or that would tell his wife good morning before I checked my phone. And so I was 18 at the time. I didn't have a spouse, nor do I have one now. And so I decided I can say good morning to God. I can pray every morning before I check my phone. And that alone has helped me more than anything else because I've developed a meaningful relationship, not just with a person, but with God. And so the second thing that you can start doing actually comes from a BYU Magazine article titled Phone Smarts. It says simply, give your smartphone a bedtime. All right, my smartphone's bedtime is 10 p.m. I'm not perfect at it, but I try to keep it. And so when it's away, I use that time to develop meaningful relationships with my friends, my family, my roommates. And so I suggest you do the same. So, in conclusion, phones and social media aren't inherently evil or bad. Too much is bad. The excess is bad. And so I just wanted to give you 2 simple ways where you can put people over phones in your life so you can build your self-confidence. And that first thing is say good morning to your spouse or say good morning to God before you check your phone. And the second is give your phone a bedtime. Thank you.